everything in your life, what if I were to tell you that everything in your life is the way that it is because on some level you have made it so? And I know that you're thinking, like, that's not possible. I'm going through something really terrible in my life. I'm suffering in this area. Like, there's no way I attracted this. Why would I choose this negative circumstance? But the thing that most people fail to understand, for no fault of their own, it's because of the way the educational systems have been built, is that we contain a very great power. Human beings have a very great power, and our power is the ability to feel. So our power is the ability to feel, right? I say that twice because it's very important that you listen to what I'm about to say next. When you are conscious of how you are feeling, and when you make feeling your first priority to feel good, then nothing else can sway you to change your frequency or vibration to feel differently. When nothing can sway you vibrationally, when nothing can sway you, and when you are very solid in your own vibration and in your own emittance of your frequency, something happens where you understand that the power that you hold within comes directly from source consciousness, from God. So when a human being can sit in meditation and connect to their creator via the linear structure of the 7 chakras, 7 chakras, then said human being has the ability to receive many, many things. There's nothing that we can give to our creator, but there's everything that we can receive from our creator. Do you understand that? So what can we receive from our creator? We can receive bouts of knowledge and information. These are also known as like different abilities that everybody has the ability to have. We all do have abilities. We've just forgotten that we have them. The same way we all have a relationship with God, we've just forgotten that we have it. Because of why? Because of repeated contact with matter, with physical matter, with the flesh matter as well, with the neurological matter, right? So because we are in contact with physical matter, and because we've always been in contact with physical matter repeatedly, that's why we're in a human body, because we've attracted this circumstance based off of previous circumstances of also being in a physical body, a corporal body. It may not have been a human body, but a corporal body nonetheless. So because of this repeated contact with matter, we forget that we are the soul, that we are pure potential energy, that we have a link with source, with the power that creates worlds. We forget that. And so it is the most the way to take someone's power is to make them forget that they have it in the first place. This is also known as manipulation, right? If you knew that you were being manipulated, it wouldn't be manipulation anymore, right? So in some way, shape, or form, there has been a clouding of sorts of the consciousness that lies within you, right? And because of this clouding, you've been manipulated to think that you're something that you're not. You've been manipulated to think that you're the human body. You've been manipulated to think that you are all the facets that are involved with the human body. The heaviness of the body, the distresses of the mind, the health issues of the body, and so on and so forth. It continues on to even like your bank account, to your relationships with others, right? All of these things are the way that they are based off of how much or how little you know about yourself, based off of how much or how little you have connected to who you are. That's why everything is the way that it is, right? So when you can connect to who you are, and I say you with a capital Y in the beginning, because you are divine, you are God's child, you are a living being, any animate object that has life force within it is a child of God. Human beings are very special because we are the only species that have the ability to connect with our creator consciously, number one. Number two, we are the only species that have the ability to remember, capital R. Number three, we're the only species that have our chakras, our energy centers, or wheels of energy, spirals of energy, stacked up atop one another, leading all the way to the crown chakra, right? I have a pet. My pet does not have his chakras stacked one atop the other because there are 4 legs there, right? So the body is horizontal instead of vertical. So we're in a very privileged position as human beings, and yet there are so many people all around the world that take their life every day. There are so many suicide instances every day because there's so many depression instances and depression rates that only are continuing to go up every day because human beings do not realize who they are because they have not been taught who they are. It is the real pandemic. It is a disgrace to our truth, right? So the thing is that when you've been made to believe that you're someone that you're not for so long, when you've been conditioned to think that you are dumb because of the grades that you get or don't get, that you are poor because of the money that is not in your bank account, and all of these things, you start to identify with lower vibrating states of being, and you start to identify yourself as being worthy of those lower states of being, number one. Number two, and number three, you start to value yourself based off of how much or how little you don't have. This is the same thing with the opposite end of the scale. If I were to talk to a very wealthy person whose sole purpose in life was to chase the bag, if you will, whose sole purpose in life was to be obsessed with like having things, right? I would talk to them and in about 60 seconds I would realize that they're not very happy. They're not happy with their life, really, right? So money does not buy happiness, and poverty does not buy happiness, right? So these are two very, thank you for so close to me. we could have exchanged auras, you know what I mean? It's very close by. So if we're looking at two extremes of the scale, right, we can see clearly that money does not buy happiness, and the lack of money does not have, there's no happiness associated with poverty as well. So how does one derive happiness from life? It is by the quest to self-realize. It is by taking on the yearning to become self-realized, and then by going down that path. It is not easy, but nothing is easy in life. This whole term of like things being easy, and like there's nothing that is easy. You wake up every day, you have to take care of your body, you have to take care of your mind, you have to take care of your 6th house, right, which is your the way that you make money, right? Every day you have to provide for yourself. So like there is nothing in life that is easy, and Srila Prabhupada, who is my spiritual master, says that, and guru, you can look him up if you're not aware of who he is, founder Acharya of Krishna consciousness in the West. He essentially says that there is nothing that the human being is not doing, not even for a moment. And that's so true, isn't it? The Vedas say this as well, that there is nothing that the human being is not doing, even for a moment. That's why even in meditation is so hard. Why is it so hard? Because people think that meditation is about thinking nothing, right? That actually may be easy for some people. Just kidding. But no, meditation is not about thinking no thoughts. Meditation is about connecting to your creator. And when you connect to your creator, you enter into a state of flow. You enter into the vortex, as Abraham Hicks, who's another one of my teachers, likes to call it. And in the vortex, you have a direct connection to the power that creates worlds. You have a direct connection to source energy, this creative power that cannot be contained, right? And so when you are in meditation, in that direct connection with your creator, again, we can receive a lot of stuff. We can receive information. We can receive information about ourselves, very ancient information is encoded within each of our DNA sequences that we are not taught how to tap into. I'm going to tell you right now how to tap into it via meditating on God. Now, this has nothing to do with religion, right? This has nothing to do with anything other than the force that is powering your heartbeat. So I want you to look at it that way. People for so long have been swindled by religion. Religion is used to control people. It's used to indoctrinate people and the masses overall. Wars have been fought under the excuse of religion. Lives have been taken under the excuse of religion. Religion, as far as I'm concerned in this day and age, is illusion, right? Real religion is dharma. Real religion, this is said in the Bhagavad Gita as well, in the Gita. Real religion is dharma. You know, it is how pious you are, right? It is how connected you are to yourself, capital S, right? It is how connected you are to your creator, who is within. That's why when you meditate, you can so easily, if you want to, connect to your creator, because we are not separate from our creator. That is how I'm speaking to you right now, and that's how you're able to watch me and comprehend me with your brilliant brain, is because your life is being powered by this electromagnetic force that is literally immeasurable. You can't measure it, right? And the heart, scientifically as well, you know, if you go to any hospital and if you ask any doctor, how do you start someone's heart, they'll say via a defibrillator. Please, defibrillator. It's hard to talk with braces sometimes. And this is because the heart carries electromagnetic frequency. That's why we use EKGs, right, to read heart and brain waves as well. So I believe it's ECG for the brain and EKG for the heart, but I could be wrong. Please correct me in the comments. Thank you. So this is like living proof that we have electromagnetic fields surrounding us. This is what the aura is, right? This is how, you know, if you would like to, you can train yourself to read auric fields, to see auric fields. And what you'll just see is the residual color of the frequency itself, of the energy itself, right? This is how one can study the different chakra points and see how each wheel is associated with a different color depending on the frequency at which that chakra is spinning at, right? This is the hertz frequency. It could be measured with hertz, right? So this is really, really cool, guys, because for so long, people in scientific and spiritual communities have debated one another in thinking that they're somehow separate from one another. That, like, no, my science is correct. No, my spirituality is correct. Well, guess what? You're both correct because you're both talking about the same thing, right? There's no difference, right? So, you know, there's such a stigma in society about spirituality. You talk to any well-established Harvard or Columbia master's, you know, graduate, and you start talking to them about auric fields, and this could be anybody, you know, talk to an engineer, right? And you start talking about auric fields, you know, they won't see what you're seeing. They won't be able to interpret what you're telling them because it hasn't been in their bubble, right, of information. Because of the way our educational system separates different fields of education. I don't understand why they do this. In school, I would have been so much more interested in math when I was younger if I were told how things are connected universally and why I need to be studying trigonometry and how actually, like, pi is a recurring sequence that is found in all substrata of creation, right? Or how, like, a sine wave and a cosine wave can be found in the natural cycles of seasons, for example, or the natural cycles of, you know, planetary bodies and their movements. Like, if I had known this in school, I would have been so interested in studying trig, right? But no, we're not taught that. You know, my little junior year of high school self was kicking myself because I was like, why do I have to study this? It's so boring, etc., etc. And it really does a huge disservice to children, which we all are. We never really do stop being children. There's also a huge emphasis in society about adulting and being an adult. It just means getting to know yourself on a deeper level. And when you do that, you can also adult in a very optimal way, right? You can adult in a way that is self-preserving. You can learn you can learn energy conservation, and you can learn how to start living each day as if it really is a gift. You can learn how to start being in the moment. That's adulting, you know? You can learn how to start working for your passion. You can learn how to build a business around your passion. You can learn that, hey, I can study anything I want to study. I'm a very capable, genius human being, right? That's adulting. But no. Who does it benefit when we are equipped with the confidence of the fact that we are directly linked to our creator? Who does that benefit? No one except the individual, right? But that is why I want you guys to get this, so you don't feel subordinate ever again in your life to any collective consciousness that does not serve you, any movement, any global movement that may be a scam for you, right? This can be anything if you're not benefiting from it on a soul level. You can benefit from capitalism on a soul level if you learn how to, make money from living your purpose, and if you find something that you love, and you can see how other people can love the work that you do too, and you begin to receive compensation for that. That's your 10th house. That's your purpose, right? That's your career. It's not just a job, right? Which many people, like myself as well, actually, find redundant and exhausting, right? And even depressing sometimes, right? This is why I really encourage people to make social media platforms, because I think social media is a double-edged sword, but one side of that sword is such a beautiful edge because it allows for you to share your gifts with the world and tap into who you are, so you can see who you are first, and then the world can see who you are. This is why I encourage people to make YouTube channels and to share their beauty and their brilliance with the world via YouTube. I mean, I think it's like the coolest thing in the world. You can talk about anything that you're interested in, right? I know someone that, started a business just from YouTube, who found their passion in, retail and fashion, essentially. And they later on connected their work to philanthropic causes, and they were able to raise money for a lot of amazing organizations, and they were able to actually watch that money go towards kids much younger than them that needed the money. Like, this is we have to help each other out. This is what we're here for, to act as a collective force to serve one another. You understand what I'm saying? We exist, as of now in August of 2022, we exist in a world that is marginalized, that is separated. We don't know of community anymore. There's no such concept of community, right? Because, and if there is, it's very, very small community. And also there's a lot of unhealed issues that kind of circulate around these communities because, again, human beings are not taught what they need to be taught. So Seema, if human beings are not taught how they need to be taught, how do you know all this stuff? Because I went within. I didn't look outside for answers. You can't look outside for answers. You're not going to find them if you look outside. The same way, like, you're not going to find yourself if you travel to a different country. You may find how resilient you are in your navigation of, different environments, but you're not going to find you, capital Y, right? You're not going to find that pure potentiality, that connection with God. That's who you are. You're not your resilience. You're not your lack of resilience. You see what I'm saying? You're not any of those things. You're not your confidence or your lack of confidence. You're not any of those things. You are validated because you are you. That's it. Right? Validation is inherent to your existence. That is why I tell people, get out here in the leading edge of the digital age that we live in. Get out here, not even the digital age really per se, but get out here in the leading edge of creation in general at any moment of time, and get excited, you know, about how much you have within you, you know. So I think it's really important that we start understanding that we are validated as we are, you know, anyway. That's the definition of validation. You don't really need any external thing to validate you, right? Imagine your parking ticket that doesn't need, you're constantly validated. See what I'm saying? So, because of your connection to your creator. It's like, why would you be here in a flesh and blood body where it took so much chance and circumstance to create you, and so much effort also to create you, universal effort, if that, you know, like entirely, to create you, and you were to sit here and think that your existence means nothing, you know? That's the biggest disservice and lie and illusion. It's the biggest illusion, really, more than anything, that you or anyone else can tell you. You are validated because you are you. You have purpose. Just by existing, you are serving your purpose, you know? And if you would like to take that steps further and go ahead and create beautiful things, like, creation is effortless, and it should be effortless. And this is why the law of attraction is always in effect, because like attracts like. What you hold within you, what is presently active within your vibration, will manifest in your external world, right? So because of that, like, there are two ways that this can be proven to you. Number one, you can look at how you're feeling all the time, and you can study how you're feeling, right? If you feel good, chances are it's because you followed clues that helped you to feel good, and you leaned into feeling good. You allowed, this is the art of allowing, you allowed yourself to feel good. The second way that you can look for proof if the law of attraction, so to speak, is in effect all the time, is by studying your external environment and studying your surroundings and seeing why things are the way they are, you know, and seeing how everything really points back to you. It's like, imagine you're standing in the middle of a circle and you just have like arrows pointing to you from all directions, right? Right? North, northeast, east, southeast, south, right? You go around the compass, right? And you have arrows just pointing to you, because all of your surroundings and all of your experiences and everything that you've encountered so far in your life has been a direct reflection of the vibration that you hold within you. You see what I'm saying? And I've seen it all the time in my life and everyone else's life. I can give you many examples, right? I'll give you a very primitive example. Like, I had this fear for a while that something would happen to one of my cars, right? So I was like, okay, I don't want this to happen. I don't want this to happen. Like, I'm going to take extra care so this doesn't happen. I was living in fear. Sure enough, 2 weeks later, it happens, right? And I'm like, okay, God, now I have to go get it fixed. Now I have to, you know, just make a lot of effort to like correct what could have been easily avoided if I didn't allow it to become active within my vibration, and if I wasn't operating based off of fear, and if I wasn't thinking thoughts that were fear-based thoughts, right? Vibration is the component of everything in existence. It is like the cellular DNA, if you will, the cellular makeup of everything in existence, because everything that is material that we can see with our physical eyes vibrates at a certain resonance, right? Just because we can't see it doesn't mean that it's not actually happening all the time, right? And so this is why Om is the universal hum, right? When you say Om and you linger there, you'll feel vibration between your lips, right? Because it is the universal hum. So anyway, right, I could have easily avoided that circumstance if I just wasn't fixated on it so much, if I wasn't thinking about it so much, and thinking about it happening so much, right? If I wasn't so focused on it happening, it wouldn't have happened. Because the universe, God, source, matches our desire, reflects our desire. It says this in the Gita too. Krishna says, I reciprocate with the desires of my devotees. And we're all God's devotees. We've just forgotten it because we've forgotten our connection to our Creator, again, like I said, right? Due to contact with physical matter. So that's the law of attraction. That's what the law of attraction is. Like attracts like. Everything revolves around the law of magnetism. You see what I'm saying? That's why, try it, practice feeling good. That's what you have to do, essentially, is what I'm telling you to do. Practice feeling good. Prioritize feeling good. Stick to good feeling thoughts. Easy to reach thoughts. Thoughts that don't require you to have a reaction to them. Thoughts that don't elicit a very strong negative reaction to them, to the thoughts, right? Because how it works is thoughts turn into emotion, energy in motion, right? Rockets of desire, essentially. Like I was essentially inadvertently desiring for something to happen in my car without even, really knowing it, because I was so focused on it. You see what I'm saying? So the universe goes, okay, you're focused on it, here, let me deliver it to you. Because it's active within my vibration. So in order to deactivate something within your vibration, stop focusing on it. That's how you can get rid of things that you don't want around you. It's the same thing with hate. When I started my journey on YouTube, the amount of hate that I got was astronomical. I was like, I'm just doing me. Even on other social media platforms, I was like, you guys are so triggered by a sweetie, cute little individual doing herself. Like, what? You know what I mean? But so the key that I realized later on is to not give attention to the things that you don't want around you. And when it comes to hate and all those kinds of things, you're never not going to get hate. That's something that I realized, and you have to make peace with it very early on, even if you don't do social media, because in life you will always receive hate, because there will always be resistance from people around you that just may not understand you. Not only that, there is always contrast anyway. So just how there is resonance, there's also contrast, right? So you have people in your life that carry the same vibration that you have, and those are the people around you. And the people that don't carry the same vibration as you will not be around you in your life. But with the internet, it's kind of different. It's not that different, because like attracts like, even in digital space. But because we follow who we like, right? Essentially, right? We watch who we like, right? But it's a little bit more tricky with the internet, because now things are just posted on people's feed without anyone really asking for it. So, so it's a little bit different now in this digital substrata, so to speak. Stratosphere, not substrata. So anyway, so like attracts like. If you want to make something inactive within your vibration, do not focus on it with your thoughts, right? And now, with the things that you want to really make active within your vibration, focus on the thoughts about that subject that feel the best. Focus on good feeling thoughts around the thing that you would like to have in your life, right? That's why faith is everything. Like, this is just what faith is, having good feeling thoughts, tapping into your imagination and creating worlds within your imagination, and then watching how it actually does manifest. Positively and negatively, like with my car, right? So we're very creative, powerful beings. But we've been taught that, we shouldn't listen to our imagination, or we shouldn't focus on things that we can't see, which is a lie. It's a lie. How can anything innovative come about in the world if someone did not imagine it first, right? Or create it in their mind first? Everything is possible. Anything and everything is possible. Just because it hasn't happened before in the world, or just because you haven't seen it happen to yourself or anyone around you, doesn't mean it's not possible. Doesn't mean it doesn't exist. Anything beautiful can happen to anyone, provided you believe that it can happen. Your belief is integral here. It is actually the most integral part here, right? Imagine your belief is the connector or the wire, the copper wire, between one part of a circuit board to another, or one node to another node. You see what I'm saying? And in this case, the node A, let's just say, right? Oh my gosh, please. Node A would be your thought of the physical manifestation of the object or relationship or money or whatever. Node A is the thought. Node B is the manifestation, the actual tangible manifestation. So the connector, the conductor, if you will, between node A and node B is your belief. It's your belief. And it's your faith-backed emotion, and your faith-backed action, and your faithful thoughts, right? That's the connector, the conductor, if you will, of node, between node A and node B, allowing for energetic transferal. That's how any physical manifestation comes about, because someone has focused on it so much that all the actions they take have no choice but to be in line with that focus. All emotions that they generate have no choice but to be in line with that focus. Like if you're a student and you're trying to get very good grades and what have you, you can see this come about very easily, right? Like I remember that was the case for me. Eventually, right? So I hope this video was helpful for you. Let me know if it was. I know it went kind of long. If you have any questions, you can definitely leave them down below. You can also book a call with me, a free 30-minute call with me to chat with me about anything that you like regarding any of the topics in this video, or any other topics surrounding personal development, mental health, business, online business, and what have you. I love you very much. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe and all that kind of stuff. And I will talk to you in the next video. Peace.